Hey, welcome to another episode of African Mythbusters. And I have a brother today that I want to introduce to the family. So I want to give the brother opportunity to introduce himself.
My original name is Yao Boateng, but a lot of people call me Zozo, Zohzoh, which means zebra on highway, zebra on highway.
Zebra on highway.
Zebra on highway.
Okay, so initially you said your name was
Yao.
Yao
Boateng. So Yao is Y-A-W, and Boateng is Boateng, G for goat.
Okay.
So the Yao is male born on Thursday.
Male born Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. You know, we are named according to the days of the week in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're born on Thursday, you are Yao. If you're female, you are Ya.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what tribe are you?
I'm half Ashanti, half Ewe. I'm the best combination.
Okay. Half Ashanti, half
Ewe.
Ewe.
Yes.
Okay, so it's interesting that you brought up the name for the day of the week.
Yeah.
And Yao.
Yeah.
And how do you spell it again?
Y-A-W.
Y-A-W.
Yeah.
We're gonna revisit that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Because
but if the Y-A-W is for the Ashanti side.
Uh-huh.
But if my dad was Ewe, then the Yao would be Y-A-O.
Y-A-O.
Like Yao.
Yao.
It's like a Chinese name.
Okay, Yao.
So if you see Y-A-O that Chinese people use, they got it from Africa.
So what about Y-A-H?
Y-A-H.
Yeah.
But that one, there's no name like that in Ghana.
Ah, no name like that in Ghana. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Zoh, you said you're Ashanti. So, like, I have a question. Like, what is some of the things that you hear or have met or you experienced between African Americans and Africans on the continent? Like, can you talk about some of the myths?
Okay.
Or the misconceptions that we have about each other from both sides?
Oh, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. I think how do you call it? When I was in high school, just before I finished high school, Rollins introduced Pan African Festival, and that was the first time that I started hearing about African Americans coming to Ghana, and I didn't know who was an African American because I thought all Africans were just here. I didn't know that there was some group of people living over there. Even though television those times would show black people in America, but I wasn't glued to it. But then before Panafest in high school, those ones we used to see in movies in America. We had this whole idea that when you get close to these guys, they will shoot you. Everything they want to shoot you. Yeah, that's one of the misconceptions we had. It's like, man, they will shoot you, man. If you do this, they will shoot you. If you do that, they will shoot you. Yeah, a lot of shooting. So when we came to that festival, the Pan African Festival, I was always being careful because I heard that these guys, if you don't take care, they will shoot you. Because it's all about gun culture.
Yeah.
But then come to realize that it's not like when you get close to them, they'll shoot you. Something else must be going on before they'll do that. But it's not like when you get close to them. But that is popular thing. My age group, a lot of people know that. And I guess a lot of Africans have that in their mind. So when they went to America, they didn't want to mingle with African Americans much because that gun culture thing was already, told to us. And the movies that they showed to us about African Americans, they were not, apart from you seeing popular artists playing music like Michael Jackson and stuff like that, but any other movies about gun violence and all stuff like that. So it was stuck in our head, and we thought everybody's like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought everybody's like that. They'll shoot you.
Okay, so one thing that is going on in America right now, it's been going on for a while, but it's really getting louder. A lot of people say that Africans from the continent do not like us. So when African Americans come to Africa, they say that they call us Akatas and these,
Akata.
Akatas, these different type of names. So is Akata a Ghanaian word or
Akata is not a Ghanaian word. I heard that is a Nigerian word.
it's a Nigerian word?
Yes.
And this,
I don't really know the meaning.
So
really know the
we
meaning.
understand. They say it's derogatory toward African Americans. So I'm asking because I haven't experienced that since I've been here in Ghana.
Okay.
Any type of Ghanaians that have really treated me bad because I'm African American. I had a couple, but even back in America, certain people don't like you in your own community.
Yes.
So you have that. So
or your own family.
yeah, your own family.
Yeah.
Beyond that, so what do you say? Do you think African Americans, are welcome back to Ghana?
I think they are welcome back to Ghana big time, and not only Ghana. I think a lot of Africans, would like to welcome African Americans back. But the thing is, because as I said earlier on, when they are showing African movies in America, which is about 50 or 100 years ago about Africa, a lot of African Americans also have a preconceived idea about Africa, and they also walk around with certain negativity and think Africa is a place where when you get there, the lions will be chasing you, the tigers will be greeting you at the airport, and so people have that misconception. Oh, you went to Africa, you didn't see lion, and so the same thing that the African American movies that was shown to us over here, we took the negative parts. And we also think the same thing on the other side. So we are all walking. So I'm saying that Africans on the continent, we have something I call post-trauma colonial syndrome. That is Africans on the continent. And Africans outside the continent, they have post-trauma slavery syndrome. So we haven't got our footing on both ends right. We all have some sort of like preconceived idea or some misconception about each other. But when the gates has opened now, especially during the year of return, where it was well pronounced to the world that we want our people back, I think it has woken up a lot of people's mind. They have started researching and trying to find out how did these people end up in America. And it is fascinating again to see that there is this brother who has come from America who does not speak like you, but he looks like you. It's even though you don't welcome them, when they walk past you and you go home, you start to think, you start to ask yourself, where have they been? Where do they come from? Because not much of the slavery history has been taught extensively in our school system. So as much as we have a lot of people in America who are ignorant, we have a lot of Africans too who are very ignorant. So some people, Africans on the continent, went to America, and the first time of seeing African American is in America, and they don't know nothing about them. They went there to just go and see them. So they will have a lot of preconceived idea and don't know who the person is. The first time I heard African Americans talking at the Panafest that I said I went to, I couldn't hear one word. All I could hear, I was like, hey, where do these people come from at all? They look like us, but they talk different. But, come to now, do more research, find out, and realize that, they are our distant cousins.
I can attest to what you're saying, because the first time I came to Ghana and I saw that it was an airport, I'm not going to lie, brother. The first time I came to Ghana and I walked through the front door, I was amazed. Because the preconception we have in America about the continent is like you said. Because they don't show us the good parts. They always show us the people that is hungry, the guerrilla warfare, malnutrition, babies. They never show the good parts of Africa. So when I first came here, and I was surprised, and I was mad that they have been lying to us for so long about the continent. So when you're right, I tell what the Africa, you seen any lions or tigers? And I'm like, but are you realizing what you're saying? But I understand their concept because I know how I used to think. But it's an eye opener once you come here. And one thing I would say that you know, in America, since you talk about the shooting,
Yeah.
in America, when you around our own people, when we're around our people, you got to be on your P's and Q's. Meaning that you got to be watching who coming in, where their hands reaching, and stuff like that. So when I first came to Ghana, I was that way, walking around all these people who spoke a language who I didn't understand. So I'm very like tense, like watching everything, watching hand movements.
You have this paranoia.
Yeah, paranoid, like, yo, I make sure anybody trying to get me.
Yeah.
But what I realized is, since I've been coming, it's totally different,
It's
man.
different. Very, very peaceful.
Yeah, it's very peaceful.
It is a peace that you cannot describe it to anybody until they come here.
See it with their own
You
self,
know,
man.
Africa is a very peaceful place, and
Yes.
Africans by nature are very peaceful people.
Yes.
So it is very hard because we don't control the mass media. And those people who control the mass media, they control the narrative.
Yeah.
And they make it sound like Africa is some place when you just get there, you're going to die. But no, Africa is actually a place. The madman is very free.
Yes.
The madman can't sleep 24 hours on the street, and he is very free. There's no snow. There's no snow. 24/7, 365 days in a year. He can sit under the tree. Once he can get food to eat, he's good to go. But if you are in America and you are homeless over there, it's tough.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Anywhere in Europe, you are homeless is very tough. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So this place is actually the place for humanity to survive.
Yes.
And we are very peaceful people, but by some other things, you know, this is how the story has gone. But to tell you, a lot of Africans are welcoming, and they want to see their brothers and sisters back.
Yeah.
Of course, some people have been here and they haven't had it that great because of whatever might have happened. But generally, most Ghanaians or most Africans are very loving people.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're very loving people. If you've been to Ghana before and you didn't like it that much because something didn't go on, it doesn't mean that everybody is like that. Because I have been to other parts of the world where I had nice people and I had bad people and all that, but I can't put everybody in the same box. You know, you keep moving and then you find good people.
Yeah, the one thing we always say about black people is no matter where you go, it's somebody who dislike you.
Yes.
So it don't matter if it's your house, the back door, across the water, somebody that dislike you.
Yeah.
But moving forward, man, I wanted to talk about when I walk around Ghana, right?
Yeah.
And I look at all the billboards, I see a lot of black faces on a lot of black faces or brown faces on the billboards.
Yeah.
Makes me so happy.
Okay.
Oh, it's so happy to see black faces on billboards everywhere. I mean, we have it in America, but not like here.
Yeah.
Because almost every billboard is a black face.
Yeah.
But whenever I see a picture of Jesus, I always see a white face.
Yeah.
And I was told that there was a saying in Africa that if you are on your way to church, and if you see a white man, you can turn around and go back home because you ain't seen God. So, can you speak on that and the visualization of your God in Africa being white, but everything else around you is black?
Yeah. Well, you know, as I said earlier on, that post-trauma colonial syndrome. You see, when our brothers and sisters were taken away from here to Americas and Europe, the white man did not leave us alone. He stayed with us from the 14th century to the late 1800s, 1900s. And he made sure that he changed every aspect of our being. The psychological, the emotional, the economical, the spirituality. He changed everything. He removed our original software and gave us the white software. So we're black people, but half of the software we are operating on is a white software. And one typical software that they planted in our head is the white God and the white Jesus. Because if God is white, then the Son will be white. So every high school that we have been to in this part of our world is a missionary school, either controlled by Catholics, controlled by Methodist, Presbyterian. You know, it's a missionary school. And those missionary schools decided that they would take our God away and replace it with their God. We get whipped when you don't go to Sunday school. Because Monday comes, when you go to school, they ask you, did you go to Sunday school? No.
Wow.
You get what I mean? And every image that they put on our wall about God and Jesus is white. And Satan was black. So they created something I call self-hate already. And this is what has been institutionalized for over 400 years. So to be able to take the time back and unblock everything for the African mind, to see his own God to be black, my brother, it's a long journey. It's a very long journey. What we are doing now, we have begun the revolution, but we need enough of this to be talked around.
Yeah.
Almost all Africans around the world, their God is white.
Yes.
And you know, Chinese God looked at the Chinese man. The Buddhist God looked at the Buddhist man. The Islam man God looked like an Islamic man. Africans are walking around the world with the white God, and our holy place is in Israel. Meanwhile, they throw bombs over there every time in Israel. They don't throw bombs in Ghana. There's no attack between how they call it, the Palestinians and whatever in Ghana. But Africans, their God is in Israel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have a group of people. I see them in America, the Hebrew Israelites and all that. They go to Israel. You're looking for Africa, you're looking for black people who look like you. You want to go to Israel. You want to find a holy place where they're throwing bombs. That's a holy place. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, bro, it's very sad that Africans, this is the stage we are now. We have to decolonize, and that decolonization process, as I said, is a very long journey. So, unfortunately, every big billboard that is about religion, why Jesus is on. I'm telling you, it has even gone down a little bit. At first, every trotro, when I say trotro is the minibus, the trotro, at the back of every trotro, you see Jesus over there. Okay? You see Jesus over there. So we, those who are not on that template, they look at us like, we're gonna go to hell, they're gonna be burning us and all that kind of crap that they talk about, Yeah. So over 400 years now, our people have been calling Jesus, but nothing has happened on the continent. Yes.
Like for some of us, when we come to Africa, especially of my mindset, we come here for tradition.
Yes.
We come here because we are revolting from the Abrahamic faiths.
Yes.
We are getting away from Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, we don't want it no more. We want that good old time religion, what some folks say, right?
Yeah.
That African religion. So, when I come here and I see that 70% of the people are Christians and another 18% are Muslims, it saddens to me. It's saddening. And it's like, so the journey of reviving, and this is what I want you to spend a little time on, is talking about African spirituality from an African perspective. Not because a lot of times, when we read books, we read stuff and we getting it from Europeans who translated it, but they don't have an African point of view. So can you touch on that for a little bit? Not go too long, but just a little bit to talk about African spirituality from an African perspective. Yes.
You see, I think I want to quickly just talk about the fact that a lot of people get disappointed when they come to Africa, and then they realize that we've been revolting a lot of things trying to find our roots. We get here. And then the same Abrahamic storyline is permeating everywhere. 70% Christians, 25% Muslims, and 5%, they don't even call it tradition, they say other. So, as I said, the 400 years was to make sure that they will destroy our spirituality. That was the aim. The aim of Christianity in Africa is to take over and make sure that African spirituality is no more. So anybody who is a true believer in African spirituality now, the person is one of the most disciplined individual and surviving in Ghana or anywhere else. because it is not easy. You're going to be a loner because everybody around you is wanting to go to heaven, and they believe in some principles. So when they wake up Sunday morning, everybody move out of the house. You are the only person that is in the house. Me, I believe in African spirituality, and if I go anywhere and I have to write anything down, you ask me what's my religion, I write voodoo. I'm a voodooist. You get what I mean? Why? Because the house I grew up in, my grandfather was a traditional spirituality believer. So he did not give us chance to be welcoming a lot of different religious things into our house. So that is where I grew up. And then but I went to Catholic school because every school was created by the missionaries. So when I went to Catholic school, I was struggling a lot between having to go into church every morning for mass and all that, and then when I go to my grandfather, I will be pouring libation, and it was a conflict of interest. But I was able to manage that, and I went to my school, I went to training college and all that, and they are all missionary schools. But half of the time, bro, I didn't use the Bible for anything because my common sense was working, my spirituality too was working, and I could see the gap between what our ancestors have versus what we've been given. So you become more even intelligent because you ask questions in the missionary school to your Catholic priest or something, they have no answer. And then you're realizing that, how come they don't have answer? If they don't have answer, this is a lie. This is a lie. But not many of us have that because everybody was being whipped into the whole thing. So African spirituality is the same everywhere, but it differs in the terms of worshiping. Do you get what I mean? So if you go to Nigeria and they have a river god over there, or they have a fire god or something, and they are doing ceremony, because of the language they speak and the things they will do, yes, it will be different for you. But when you come to Ghana, you find the same river god too, and you find the same fire god too. They are present in everywhere. Sorry. They're present in everywhere, just that the worship systems differs because of the tribal differences and language. But it's a very simple thing. You don't have to do it. Is about admiring nature and the things around you. It's that simple. And you are looking at your maker through the things around you. If you're looking at the ocean is beautiful, that means your maker is very beautiful. Looking at the mountain is our God, is a very beautiful mountain, nice look, everything. It is our God. This is where we came to settle. They accepted us, they give us everything, and so that is our God. So it is not about, people think like once you enter into African spirituality, it's about death and black magic, and yes, there are spirituality. It's on different levels in everything, depending on what you want. So if you want to practice certain negativity, that one is your own path. But generally, voodoo is not meant to harm people. It is the order of society. The discipline codes are all in our spirituality. Do you want to pause? Yeah, so it is very disappointing for a lot of diasporans coming over to Africa, revolting a lot of religious principles on the other side of the world, and you get here and you realize that what you are trying to run away from is the people here are busy with it. So 70% Christians in the country, about 20% or 25% Muslims, and few traditional believers. And Ghana is, how do you call it? Ghana is west, but Benin is the opposite. You see, Benin, the African spirituality, they have about 70% or 80%, and then they have other religion to be added. So Benin is actually a place where most of the spirituality has been maintained. Togo too is the same. Togo too has a lot of traditional believers over there. But Ghana and Nigeria, I think the Christian groups are a lot. But African spirituality differs from one village to another because of language, because of dialects, but they are primarily the same. The fire god in Uganda, the fire god will be in Nigeria, and the fire god will still be in Ghana. Just that the applications that will go with how do you worship the fire god, it will be a bit different from how it is also done in Ghana. You know, but they are the same. It's not anything that is weird. So if you believe in the African spirituality and you move from here to say South Africa and you meet a Sangoma and he's going to do some sort of a ritual for you, you realize that the ritual is not that strange, because somewhere where you are coming from, the ritual is similar. And it is all about nature. Some people will say it's animist religion. Animist, it's not animist, it's just that everything is in symbiotic relationship with us as black people or Africans. So nature is incorporated into spirituality. What you eat, what you don't eat, everything is in there. So we have a father who is a diviner. So I don't know whether you've heard about divination system before. So if you go to a doctor and the doctor tells you that, okay, you are sick, you go to the doctor tells you, daddy, we've done your lab, so don't eat this, don't eat that, don't do this, don't do this. When you come to African spirituality, that's a divination system where you go to the diviner with your sickness and they go into the other world and they come back and tell you that don't eat this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. It's the same thing. That is what our ancestors, our great-grandfathers did for a long time. And they were older than us. My grandfather was 100 years old. But the life expectancy in Ghana now is not 100, it's about 65 or 70. So we with the modern technology, we die faster. And those guys without the technology, the guys were living better. And it is the spirituality which brings this holistic living. Because if you are associated to a shrine, the shrine gives you a certain things that you do, certain things you don't do. But they are all intertwined. A shrine could tell you don't take alcohol, or don't take this, or don't take that. That lifestyle is incorporated into the spirituality. It is not because you think that I have money so I can consume everything. You could have money, everything, but if you are deeply involved with the African spirituality, with a shrine and with a deity, the deity gives you rule and you have to follow. And it doesn't matter whether you are Elon Musk or you are whatever. You cannot eat that, you can't eat it, because if you eat it, maybe you are just consuming toxic to your body and you will die, or sickness will take over. But we have given up on all this. And we've accepted the principles of Christianity. And Christianity defies everything. Because you can sin from Monday to Saturday and go to church on Sunday and ask for forgiveness and begin another one again. It defies everything. So our people are not living holistically anymore just because our spirituality is gone. This is the necessary thing that a lot of people don't understand when they come to Africa, and they are still being, oh, I'm a Buddhist, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I'm this. But when we come to Africa, when diasporans come to Africa, I think that though there are not many people who are still practicing the African traditional belief, do your best to try to immerse yourself in any of the spirituality that you find within the African spirituality system and learn, because it is necessary for your growth. It is necessary for your health. It's necessary for a lot of things. It makes you think deeper, because within the African traditional belief system is where we have the plant and herbal lifestyle. Do you get what I mean? Every herbalist, every authentic herbalist is a traditional believer. You must be part of a cult. Otherwise, if you say you are a Christian and you are a herbalist, you are just faking, because you know certain things to do. Yes, maybe you can heal a little bit. But if you want to go deeper and be somebody who is perfect and achieve a higher height, you would have to be in the traditional world. Because if you have to pour libation for the plant, before you take the plant, you have to do that. You get what I mean? within the African spirituality is where we have music. All the beautiful music comes from there. Do you get what I mean? We have music to cure sick people. So when you are sick and we take you to the shrine, sometimes it's only drums that they're going to play. It's therapeutic. You know what I mean? But that drums they're going to play is going to open certain pores in your body. It's for healing. So not everybody can just wake up like that and go and play the drum. So you might walk through a village and they're playing drum over there. It sounds very good to you. But try going there to take a maracas or a bell or something. They will take it away from you. Because it is certain group of people who have trained all their life to be able to play that so that they can touch certain like going to the cosmic world to be able to heal that person. Yes, within the spirituality we have the entertainment music. You know, we all sorts, they are all embedded. So now most Ghanaians cannot play traditional drums like that anymore. Why? Because they've departed away from their traditional spirituality. Because that organized system that will go to the village and learn is being broken, but by white folks' miseducation. That they're giving us something else different, and that is what we want to do. So yes, a lot of people can play drum kits and all that, but most Africans don't want to be seen playing African drum. In the early 90s, almost every school in Ghana had a traditional drum that we play. Before you go to assembly, before you go to classroom, they'll play. But come now, it's all disappeared.
Interesting.
So we need, myself, other people who are in this realm now. We are like trying to keep the gates so that African spirituality does not, get destroyed. So some of us are keeping it tight.
So I need you to clear one thing up for me, brother. A lot of times people, when you were talking about the water god, the fire god, and the mountain, a lot of times people try to say that's taboo, and you're turning objects into God, right?
Yeah.
And can you clear that up about the complete system?
Yeah.
Can you clear that up for
Anybody who thinks like, the river is an object, blah blah is an object, and we are worshiping it, then I think that those people haven't really sat down to think about their own God that they worship. Jesus is an object they put on the wall. So why do you worship that? Why do you have a photo of Jesus on your wall? It's an object. You get what I mean? Every spirituality have an object that they worship through. The Christians want everybody to believe that theirs is in the sky and nobody sees it. But they have a picture of Jesus they put on the wall. They have a ceremony that goes on every Easter that somebody would have to die on the cross. They have a ceremony that they put on mass media that somebody will have to be giving birth on the 25th of December. And they have objects, they have monuments, they have artwork about 12 disciples being put in places. These are all objects. So what is the difference between that and me admiring the nature that the creative power has given me, that beautiful river that I drink from every day, and the river does not dry? That is the African spirituality, admiration to nature. The river is constantly, they never dry, and we drink it every day. Versus somebody who is just hanging on the wall with some blood flowing, who has not done anything to you, who has only one name and has no surname. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So the understanding of the African spirituality is not about that we are just saying that we are just worshipping the object, but we believe that there is some force, some energy in that river that makes it to be a living water every day for mankind to take. And that is the respect we are giving into the river God, so that that river will be there for us forever and ever.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Yes. So those things around us, if there is a particular tree in the village and the tree has become the god that people worship that tree, it is because that the tree must be medicinal. That every sickness you have in the town, when you go there and you take a piece of the tree, you boil it, you drink, your sickness is gone. So that tree become a god, because the energy, the God energy has manifested in the tree for it to be able to save people in a community. How much can that not be a god to you than having to now have some medical doctor who they are going to fly into your village to come and cure you? But there is a tree over here that if you cut the back of that tree and then you boil it, your sickness is gone. So looking into nature and what nature gives us, and we accept it to be our God, and we worship that, is what other folks don't understand. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a mountain somewhere, and then they say if you are able to climb up on top of the mountain, you'll be healed. And people have seen that mountain, and they've done it for hundreds and thousands of years, and the mountain has become their God in the town. So if you have any problem, yours is to be able to climb on top of the mountain, carry a gift with you, do some libation and call your ancestors, and then you are free. What else can be done again? So the African spirituality has a deeper meaning like that than people thinking, oh, but the Bible says thou shalt not worship any other gods before me, and you people are worshiping trees and all that. Those are just ignorant people who are looking at the world from only Christian perspective or Christian worldview. But if you take the Bible out of the game and you are looking at the people before the Bible came, what were the people doing? This is what we were doing before the Bible came, and we are still like this. We were even better. You get what I mean? Yeah. At first in Ghana, you couldn't walk into any forest and cut lumber, take a lumber machine and go and cut. You can't, because the traditional rulers will make sure you come there and prove to them why you want to go into the forest to cut certain type of trees. So the environmental agency and all that, they were not the ones protecting the forest. It was the African spirituality that was protecting the forest. Because they will tell you, there is this God over here, there is this God over here. But now, ever since they said that, oh, we don't have any God there, we don't have anything over there, we don't have anything over there, we have illegal lumbers everywhere. They go cut down trees, they don't plant any, so Christianity has given a lot of room for Africans to fool around. I think that the reason why nature gave us voodoo or gave us this spirituality is for the fact that our DNA is coded with that. And that is the only time black people behave. Because as me and you sit down here, if you have any problem with Ghanaian, right now, your phone is missing within this my restaurant over here, and then you don't say anything, and you go out there and you only tell them, I will take you to Nogobo. I'm gonna go find my phone over there. My brother, you wouldn't get to your house. The person who took the phone will bring it.
Wow.
Because the whole Ghana knows that if they take you to that shrine, the thunder god is gonna strike you. Yes, I'm giving you the secret today. Anywhere you go, you keep that in your head. Anytime somebody steals something important of yours, and you know that it is within that circle, you tell them that you are going to the shrine. I'm telling you, it wouldn't take days. They will bring your product. And that is the DNA of the African. But if you tell them that you are going to go to, you give it to Jesus Christ, no. Because they go to church and they're still there.
Okay, so in short, because we're going to tidy this up. What you're saying is that a lot of Ghanaians and politicians have left tradition because they are afraid of the repercussions.
They're afraid of the
for
repercussions.
the actions.
Yes.
So in other words, in tradition, your punishment is swift.
Yes.
It don't take 20, 30 years.
No, your punishment is instant. So we used to say that if Bible is talking about instant punishment in the Old Testament, then that Old Testament was the time in Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that's swift. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Because I be wondering about these politicians, like why they not traditionalists.
Yes. No, they are not.
Because
if you're traditionalist, you have to swear an oath to your shrine in your town. And if you fool, if you messed up, they'll finish you.
Okay. All right, wow. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Though, we're gonna have to come back to this. Before I go though, brother, I want to talk about your business.
Yeah, man.
And your idea of your business, and you know, how you put it together, and you know, some of the pitfalls and great things about it.
Okay. So, in short, I'm in sustainable architecture. So, sustainable architecture meaning that I am doing most work which is eco-friendly. So, I started with pallet, which is the wooden pallet, the seat I'm sitting on. I was the one that brought this revolution to Africa. I came and I saw a lot of wood lying down, people were not using it. And I started making furniture, building structures out of it. But then it migrated to a different level. I decided to put up a little kitchen for my sister because she had then finished a chef school. And I used the palette to create a very unique kitchen for her. And so it caught on because a lot of people keep asking, oh, who built this, who built this, who built this? And then and because I used palette to build it, I decided to give the name Palette Kitchen.
Oh, Palette Kitchen.
Yeah, Palette Kitchen. Just to signify that the wood that was considered to be a dead wood, I've given it another life and I've created something beautiful out of it. So I don't go into forest to go and cut a timber to come and create my piece, but I look at something that's supposed to be dead and I give it another life. And so I've been building structures out of waste wood from maybe 7 years now till now, and I'm running the Palette Kitchen restaurant too as well. And then I decided that because Accra is the center, but Accra does not have any sort of a pro-African storytelling place because everything is too commercialized. And so most businesses too are owned by, hospitality businesses are owned by Lebanese and few other white folks. So for me to let the African story shine, I decided to create a little bit of a studio and brought some African personalities around the world, the heroes of Africa. So I brought Bob Marley is here, James Brown is here, Tina Turner is here, culture from Jamaica, Ray Charles is there, and then trying to connect the story of West Africa to Egypt. So I brought the pharaohs pictures too on the wall, and then our people history and culture. So I do intertwine of Ghanaian scenes and Nigerian scenes, something that gives you an idea that when you come to Accra and you're looking for a place to hang out, to be able to hear African stories, authentic African stories, like how we are sharing some right now, then Palette Kitchen is the place to be. You don't need to go to any big museum because we don't have any big museum in Accra here to tell you a story about Ghana. But when you touch base at Palette Kitchen, you're definitely going to have some sort of a tour from me, and then I will explain and tell you stories about Ghana and Africa. So this is a hub, diasporan hub, where we share stories, we tell stories, and every weekend I have African jazz, where I use more of traditional instruments, the xylophone, drums, and flute.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and then so we play every Saturday over here. So it's a hangout if you are on a conscious movement. If you want to find yourself, instead of wasting your time going round 2 weeks, waste all your time and go back and don't see anything real. At least I'm here.
Yeah.
Our restaurant is here to share stories with you, and so that you can find yourself, give you directions as to what you want to do. So it's a business in one fold. Hospitality, sustainable architecture. If you want to have an advice of building a house or a home in Ghana, acquiring a home, how do you do it? You want to build your own stuff, I'm the frontliner for all that. Yeah.
Okay, so also, where do y'all go and have service? Is it a place where you can go and get traditional service?
Traditional service.
Yeah.
When you say traditional, like if you want to be part of a congregation for traditional service.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm part of the Africanian Mission. So Africanian Mission is one of the missions who have been championing the African spirituality for a long time. It was started by Okonfo Damwa. I think that was in the late 80s, but he died. But the group is still there. We're not too many like that, but we are still inviting people to be part of us. And we meet every Sunday at the Art Center. So Art Center is the commercial place. They sell, crafts, carvings and all that. When you come to Ghana and you go to the Art Center, Sundays we start worship like from 10 to 12. And that is another place where you can actually connect and ask a lot of questions about African spirituality. So that is one gate too.
Okay, so where can the people find you at, man? Are you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on social media. So I have a channel called Zoh TV, ZOH TV. So you can check it out as well. And then I'm on Facebook as Yao Boateng. Yeah, Instagram I'm not too active, but I'm on TikTok too as Zoh TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can find me there.
All right. Well, look, man, I thank you for your time, brother. I appreciate you, and thank y'all for watching another episode of African Mythbusters. I'll see y'all on the next video.
Nice
Peace.
one.